Ahoy hoy, I'm Planet Walk. I should probably upload a little more frequently. But welcome to Flat Earth News. So before we get into it, big announcement, this video was brought to you by me. I'm not actually sponsored, I just thought that it would sound cool. But do you know what the human race is sponsored by? Plants. Now, whilst there may be some nasty fuck you plants that cause you to itch, most of them are pretty useful. There are plants that give us food. Most plants convert carbon dioxide and water into oxygen and glucose, basic chemistry. And if you punch trees long enough, they give you wood to build stuff. And due to me branching into different topics rather than flat earthly shows, the first story will be about the recent movements to plant trees. So currently, there is a plan to plant 2 billion trees. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, wait, wasn't it 20 million trees? And this is actually a different plan. So rather than raising $20 million to plant 20 million trees, the Canadian government is spending $3 billion to plant 2 billion trees. Now this will take place... Hold up. I'm getting the feeling that seeing as I'm talking about wood, that there's a beaver around the corner.
So I've been told that the Canadian government will be spending $3 billion over 10 years to plant 2 billion trees. Yes, you heard me. That was billion with a B. This made me think about other nations and what they plan to do about the fight. I heard that New Zealand plans to copy us, but they could only commit to planting about 1 billion trees by 2030, or something like that. We would need to check their numbers, though, make sure they're not using some sort of Elvish or maybe Hobbit math, perhaps? I just figured out I'm lost in 2 billion trees. Well, back to you, Planner Walk. I'd like to see those Kiwis get lost in a puny 1 billion trees. Come on, honk. Honk, damn it. Fucking, where's that car?
But hey, New Zealand has a much smaller population than Canada, and Canada has 37 times the landmass of New Zealand. So yes, it's not just Mr. Beast that's going around planting trees. Many countries are actually planting trees themselves, like Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, although Australia's trees got bulldozed. Now, it may sound like I'm downplaying the efforts of Mr. Beast's 20 million trees by 2020. However, there's only 1.5 months left until 2020. Now, as Brainy Beaver explained, the billions of trees being planted by the governments are over 10-year periods, and there's about 120 months in 10 years. So not only is the 20 million trees by 2020 a huge significance, it also adds to all the trees that are being planted around the world. And lastly on this topic, I think that it's pretty cool that Elon Musk gave $1 million because it's $1 for each tree, so that's 1 million trees. You can donate, by the way, over at teamtrees.org. I'll leave a link in the description. Alright, on to the flat earth stuff, and today we're talking about New Zealand Today, which is a show. Now, I would like to show a clip of it because it's absolutely hilarious, but I can't because otherwise this video would get blocked worldwide. But you can go ahead and watch the video over on the Jono and Ben channel, and it's filled with glorious moments such as Guy Williams calling Mark Sargent a fuckwit in an interview. Now, the Creaky Blinder did make a video on this video, but one of the things that happened to that video is that it got blocked worldwide. Now, I am glad that it wasn't a copyright strike, but I did like Creaky's video. But speaking of Jono and Ben, now this next bit is something small that only New Zealanders will probably understand because I doubt anybody in America knows what The Edge is. It's a radio station, by the way. Now, Jono and Ben are actually leaving The Edge, which means that they need a new co-host. Now, there's someone who I think would be a brilliant co-host. This person being Craig Westenberg, who has been on my channel way back in the past.
And I just want to show you something for a sec. Do you know what this is? If you don't turn this around, it's a Nike shoe. A Nike shoe with Adventure Time shoelaces.
Ah, that brings back some memories. But obviously, things have changed since then, so I'm going to play a little clip from Craig's application video, and if you want to watch the whole thing, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the full video.
I'm a stand-up comedian, which means I'm already more qualified than Guy Williams. A face for radio. I'm losing my hair, which means that listeners won't even realise that Jono left because I'll just replace him as the resident bald guy.
So that full video is only about 2 minutes long, so definitely recommend checking out. So if you want Craig to be on the edge, post Craig's video to Twitter and tag the edge or something like that. I'm not quite sure how this works. But anyway, on the complete opposite side of the world, in Europe, you've got this thing called the Globe Lie European Tour going on. So from what I can tell, it's a whole lot of flat earthers that are going around Europe trying to convince everyone that the Earth is not a globe. Now, whilst this seems to have sparked maybe a little bit of interest in flat Earth, that has mostly died off already. But one of the interesting things about the tour is that there's been random Simon Dan posters cropping up. And I think this is a good thing because flat earthers could see this, go and watch Simon Dan, and realise, wait, flat earth doesn't make any logical sense. Much like recently, Baldy Cats made a video in response to a person called Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Now, whilst it doesn't seem like he's just suddenly become a globe earther, it does seem as though he has become skeptical of flat earth, which is a good thing. Now, there's not a whole lot of flat earth news that I can think of right now because not a lot is happening, but I will be appearing on Simon Dan's channel, so you can look forward to that. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. Leave a comment letting me know what you think. As always, a big shout out to my $20 or more patrons. TheSunExpress, What Jesus, Fight the Flat Earth, Holmes, Hugh Jarsz, M.C.Nutkin, Wolfie, String News 1, Ashpanash, Reynolds, Curvy New Yorker, OneTrueChaos, and Syssiphus. If you would like to support me financially, you can do so on Patreon, link will be in the description. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Today is gonna be the day John and Ben are gonna leave the edge. By now, you should have saw.
Please hire him now, or else it's not gonna stop.
Cause I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do.